I don't wanna make this video. I can do it anyway. Hey guys, I couldn't be bothered to set up anything properly, so this is the setup that we're going for. The thing that you're about to see is a weekly vlog, but I feel like it needs a bit of an introduction first. So, that's what this is. Basically it is Hypermobile Awareness Month, and this isn't really a thing that I've spoken about on this channel before. And it's not that like it's a secret, I talk about this a lot, I don't know, don't really talk about my life that much on this channel. I feel like you guys see a lot of my life, but I don't really talk about it. And this is a part of my life and it's the awareness month, so here we are. Basically, I guess, I don't know, should we start with this, with the story? When I was a kid, I remember a lot of joints hurting a lot. And kind of thinking that it was normal. I was kind of told that like, oh, it's growing pains and things like that. And I know, or at least I think that they're a real thing. Currently unclear. But just having like certain joints just ache to the point where they'd keep me awake at night, and like I'd have to like sit out PE, and I really hated like sitting on the floor during assembly and things like that, and kind of always just thinking that that was just how it was. Like I'd sit on the floor for PE, or sorry, for assembly, and then like 45 minutes later I'd stand up and my legs would really hurt and I'd get really bad pins and needles. But like I'd say this to people and they'd be like, oh yeah, same. So I kind of just thought that it was normal. But now I know that it's probably different, and that what I was feeling was probably different to what they were feeling, but I don't know that because the only experience I have is the experience inside my own body. I kind of always was like, that's just how it is. Things hurt sometimes, and I think things do hurt sometimes, but it turns out that it's not normal to have like at least one joint hurting like all of your life. I wasn't aware of that. Like apparently some people go like full days without a thing hurting. That's a wild concept to me. But yeah, basically after like during my gap year I was kind of thinking about it a lot, and I kind of half knew that this thing existed but didn't really know that much about it, and was starting to sort of notice that when a certain joint hurt, it would also be a joint that I could hyperextend a little bit, or also that like you could kind of see that they were not fully where they were supposed to be, and that was the one that was hurting. And things like, I remember wearing this wrist brace a lot. I went through these phases where I'd wear this wrist brace a lot, and I think like my parents thought I was trying to be like edgy and look like I'd like hurt my wrist because it was like a cool thing to do when I was like 14, but actually it helped my wrist. And like I don't know, I don't really know what I was thinking at the time. Like I wore it because it helped my wrist, but also I kind of thought that like maybe I was doing it for that reason. Anyway, I used to wear this wrist brace sometimes, and just like things like that. And I kind of became more and more aware of this thing and was starting to like notice like, oh, a lot of my life lines up with a lot of these symptoms, and maybe some of these other things like I also kind of toyed with the idea of like maybe I've got like a bit of chronic fatigue because I just seem to be tired all the time no matter how much sleep I get, and that is like still the same and things like that. And then just sort of like sort of mulling it over in my brain, and about a year ago, I think it was about a year ago, I started going to the doctors a couple of times, and they eventually were like, yeah, you have hypermobility syndrome. It's called a couple of different things. Some people call it like hypermobile spectrum disorder, or like, I don't know, I've heard it being named a bunch of things, but the thing that is written on my medical notes is hypermobility syndrome, so that is what I'm going to call it because that is what is written on my notes. But I don't know if there's a difference. I'm not like an expert in this. I know some things about it. I probably know more than your average person about it for obvious reasons, but I'm not an expert. I don't know if there is a difference between hypermobility syndrome and hypermobile spectrum disorder. I don't know if it's like a cultural difference, maybe one of them's an American thing. I'm sure maybe someone might know about this and tell me down in the comments. So yeah, what does this mean for my general life? So I think over the past few years it has been getting worse as well. I think that's why it's been in my brain a little bit more. But for my life it means chronic fatigue, so getting exhausted really easily from things, but also like always being a bit tired. Some days I get up and you know that grogginess that you get right at the very start of the day, and you shake it off after about an hour. Some days I never shake that off, and I constantly feel like I could get back into bed and immediately fall back to sleep. I'm having one of those days currently, so sorry if my brain isn't working very well. That's another thing as well. I get brain fog, which I think is like to the fatigue, where sometimes sentences are just long and hard. And like thinking is difficult, and I can get sort of in one idea, but I think the thing that I find the hardest, which is probably what you're saying right now, is like articulating those thoughts when I have brain fog. It's one of the hardest things to do. And also like concentrating for long periods of time. You've probably seen it in videos quite a lot where I'm trying to say an idea and the idea just isn't becoming words. Though I do quite often cut it out. And yeah, pretty much one joint at all time hurts. Currently my hips are aching a little bit because I did a lot of work yesterday. It also means things like my muscles get tired really easy because they're doing like more work than normal. My knees pretty much constantly hurt. They're alright at the moment. But because I hyperextend them, I'm not really sure if I'm going to show you. I might show you later on in the video, but it hurts, so I might not. Well, no, that's okay. We're gonna finish what I was talking about, and then I'll get onto that. So basically, when I walk around, my knees like go back on themselves, and I don't know how to walk without doing that. So my knees hurt a lot, and sometimes they just feel really weak and like wiggly. So I sometimes wear a brace, and I've actually recently started using a scarf because sometimes I found that the brace is a bit too intense because I can't bend my leg. Then my hips end up aching because they're like overcompensating. But sometimes I just need like a little like tightness rather than like a whole brace. So I've started just wrapping a scarf around it like a bandage, and that's been working well. Not approved by a physio, I should clarify. The brace was. I don't know, just things hurting. I don't really know how to express this, just things hurt. One of the things that I get, which quite often comes along with hypermobility, is that I have low blood pressure, which affects my life quite a lot, more than I thought I did before I started thinking about it. Does that sentence make any sense? Basically, yeah, it means that I get really exhausted in heat, that I get to like points where I feel like I'm gonna pass out in heat quite a lot. I went for a walk before and it was quite warm and it made me feel really weird, and I still haven't fully recovered from that. It takes me about half an hour to recover from doing something like that. I also have scoliosis, which is again quite common with hypermobility. My spine is not straight. Sometimes you might see it in photos and things because my hips are also slightly misaligned. That doesn't cause me a massive amount of issues. And I also get sciatica all the way down my legs because of this. So that's fun. I get like a little prickly feeling, or it feels like water's running down the back of my legs. Kind of depends. It manifests itself in a couple of different ways. That doesn't hurt. I don't actually mind it so much. It's just annoying, and it's kind of a feeling that you can't fully ignore. Yeah, I think that's probably it. There's probably loads of other things that I want to talk about, but so yeah, I haven't actually really explained what it is. Basically, it means that some of my joints go a bit further than they're supposed to because I believe, this is my understanding of it, so do not correct me if this is wrong, that like the cartilage in my joints doesn't work properly, like the proteins in my joints. So like, okay, I'll do that one because this one doesn't hurt. So that one is hyperextending my wrist. And most people can do one of these. Most people have a hyperextendable joint. It's really common. Dancers get it a lot, so you can kind of learn it as well. You can train your body to hyperextend. Like if you do a lot of yoga, a lot of stretching, a lot of like dancing, things like that, you can kind of force your body to do it. But most of the time that doesn't have any ill effects. Sometimes if you forced your body to do it, you can have ill effects in that specific joint. So say if you've like learned how to hyperextend your hips, I don't know, you might then later on have issues from that, but like, it depends. Everyone's different. But with people with the syndrome or like the spectrum disorder, it affects like multiple joints, and you get like musculoskeletal pain and like other issues that come along with it because it's like a whole body thing, not just like a joint specific thing, even though you can only have hypermobility in certain joints. That's my understanding of it. Again, I don't have references, I don't have things sitting in front of me, and from what I also understand of it, people see it in different ways. Like it's not a fully 100% understood thing yet. So basically, I'm gonna like talk through my week. It's a Monday, and I'm just gonna be like, this is the thing that happened. I'm living my life, and my leg hurts. Just thought I'd let you know, kind of to just sort of demonstrate like, I know that this is a thing that affects people. Like it's the awareness month. I want people to know that this is a thing that affects people, and it's not completely uncommon. And like, it is a thing that affects me every day, and it probably affects like 50% of the things I do. And like it probably affects me a lot more than that as well, because throughout my life I've probably made the subconscious decision to do certain things to avoid being in pain, and therefore have become a slightly different person because of it. Like, this probably had a lot bigger impact than I'm going to be able to express in this video. There is a cat currently sniffing the microphone, so I apologise if you can hear that. No, don't. I don't really have that much to talk about today. I didn't get much sleep, so my brain isn't really doing the thing. Because what happens when I don't get much sleep. Let's move the cat away from the microphone. Just gonna go straight back and play with it again. I couldn't get to sleep last night because I just couldn't get to sleep. It just happens to me a lot. It's actually one of the side effects, like not side effects, I guess like the symptoms of chronic fatigue is not like insomnia and not being able to sleep, which is why. But yeah, stop. Yeah, and also sometimes I get this thing where I'm lying in bed and my arms just start cramping, and I don't know why, just like all my arms will ache, and I don't know why. I haven't heard of this happening to anyone else, but yeah, that stops me sleeping because my arms hurt. So I've been trying to get work done. I've got kind of what I need to get done today, like the minimum, but I usually try and do a bit more than the minimum. But I think, you know, that's all that's going to happen today because doing things is hard. Hello, I am cold, so the dressing gown is staying on. Oh, out of breath all of a sudden. This happens to me sometimes. Don't know if it's to do with anything, but here we are. Pain wise, it's been kind of chill. I still get like twinges every now and again, but like, doesn't everyone? Actually, I don't know if everyone does, but like, you know what I mean. My knees have been pretty bad when I've been going on walks. That's been happening a lot. There's been a couple of times I've been out on a walk and thought I want to have my brace on now, but it's hard to walk in it, so I don't bring it with me. And then I get home and by the time I've like sat down for a bit and like chilled out, it's fine. So that's kind of fine. Was kept awake again last night by my arms doing that weird thing. I have no idea why. So that's fun. But like fatigue has been the biggest issue this week, I think. Kind of tired, very tired. Went for a walk, kind of took it out of me. The walks kind of tend to take it out of me anyway, like for a good half an hour after I get back. I need to like recover. But even then, I'm not like this week, even after the recovery period, like of like that half an hour to like sit down and chill out and like be a human again. I've kind of just been tired. I've got a bit of a headache. Well, I've actually had a bit of a headache for a few days now because the muscles in my eyes don't work very well, so I get eye strain really, really easily. And it goes through like phases, but when I'm in the house all the time, specifically like staring at screens, I get it more easily. And then I got it really, really bad like a couple of weeks ago. I just had like constant headaches, my eye was just constantly really hurting. And then it slowed down a bit and now it's starting to pick up again a little bit. But I'm hoping it doesn't get as bad as it did back then. I have no idea if the reason the muscles in my eyes are so bad is because of hypermobility. But if one thing I've learned from like being in like the chronic illness community and things like that, that like once there's one thing wrong, there tends to be a lot of other things wrong as well, because like your body is a system, and as soon as one thing goes off, a bunch of other things go off as well. And like just because like, you know, medically they might not necessarily be linked, or I don't know, like a symptom might not be a symptom of the thing that you're diagnosed with, it doesn't mean that like they're not connected. Does that make sense? Like, because your body isn't working very well, like other parts of your body aren't going to work very well. Hey guys, apparently I'm deciding that this is where all of the clips are going to be filmed now. I've been less fatigued today. I haven't like had to think as much today. My knee was hurting me quite a lot this morning when I woke up. I woke up this morning just before I had a seminar, and then I had my seminar, and all the way through I was thinking, right, okay, I'm probably going to have to wear the brace on it today, but I'll see. It's actually, I think it might actually be, yeah, it's a little bit swollen. And then I went for a walk, it kind of got better, and then I went for the walk, it kind of got worse, and now I can't feel it at all, which is a good sign, but this one is always the dodgy one, so this one is the one that always like plays up a little bit. Right now the thing that's hurting, like definitely pain has went up a little bit today, the thing that's hurting is my feet and up the back of my legs, because I made some like cheese twists, like some pizza rolls out of some puff pastry that we had, and because I was standing on a like flat cold floor, just like the wooden floor, for maybe an hour, maybe less than that, maybe about 45 minutes, standing on a hard floor like that makes my legs really hurt. So I should start just wearing shoes when I know I'm going to be standing in the kitchen for a while, but which I don't, I just don't do that. I don't know why. It's not as bad as it could get, like it's sort of easing up now, but I think I was at the stage where if it had been much longer I would have gotten like that ache all the way up my legs, that I get when I stand on a hard floor for too long. My legs were aching a little bit last night as well. I was just sitting playing Animal Crossing and they were starting to get like this crampy, achy feeling that I get when I don't use them enough. If I stay in the same position for too long, I get it. But also even if I move positions a lot but just don't move them that much during the day, I start to get it, which is why I've been going on walks every day to try and like avoid that. But you know, one half an hour walk a day, by the time you get to like 8-9 o'clock, isn't really enough. I woke up with a weird twitch in my leg, which was driving me crazy, but it didn't hurt, it was just annoying. And my neck has been a bit sore today as well, but that might just been how I slept. So yeah, hope you enjoyed me just moaning about all the things that are wrong with my body. I should have moved my lamp, oh well. So today I think I'm gonna cut to some footage of me doing my physio while I'm talking, so I have some footage of me doing my physio tonight which I haven't filmed yet. I'm starting to feel more like a human being again, like I think the fatigue's wearing off a little bit. I don't know if I'm sleeping a bit better or if like I've just gotten over that like dip that I had, because like that happens sometimes. So yeah, fatigue is doing better, but I think pain levels are starting to return back to like normal. I don't know if maybe because my fatigue's better I'm doing more so that's causing it, or maybe that's just, you know, things like that come and go, don't they? After a couple of days where it was quite low, I think we've gone back to normal. My knee has been hurting again, like it always does. I've been getting some pain back in my fingers, and also like things like flexibility in my back, things like that, which I've been trying to improve on, has gone downhill again, which means that my back and my neck are a lot stiffer, and sort of become more painful quicker when I'm sitting at a desk all day, which I think is the thing that a lot of people experience, but mine's just made a little bit worse by my body not working great. But yeah, I think that's why I woke up a couple of times last night with like my knee like locked, which happens sometimes. I don't know why. I don't know if maybe the way that, you know, sometimes I'll move in my sleep and I'll start to like hyperextend my knee and I just wake up and it's like really hurts and I have to sort of slowly move it back into a position that isn't painful, but it feels stuck, like I can't move it. It usually doesn't last very long, but last night it happened a few times, which was a little bit annoying. And yeah, I watched a movie last night at my desk. So I was sitting on my desk for about 2 hours, which I don't think is a particularly long time to sit at a desk, not, you know, in this day and age. But I was sitting there for 2 hours and by the time I'd finished, you know, I was moving around like normal, changing positions, things like that, which I do to stop my legs hurting. My legs just like complained at me and they were really stiff and like I couldn't walk properly on them for like, I don't know, I had to walk around a bit downstairs until they were fully functioning again. Hello, it is still Friday. I came back from my walk and my legs hurt a lot and I'm really tired. I don't know why it took it out of me so much. It is raining and it was raining a little bit on my walk. Our words, and I don't know if maybe that's what made it worse, but I don't know, for some reason now I've gone a little bit dizzy. It wasn't a long walk, it was a relatively short one, a lot shorter than I usually take, but now like actually all up here on my legs is hurting. That makes it worse, but I'm trying to like stretch it out because I'm hoping that'll help. I'm also freezing cold. I don't know if it's because I'm tired or it's because it was raining and it's just cold, but who knows. You can tell it was raining from the fridge, and also you can probably hear the rain. Hands were going weird as well, like they were going like numb, like sort of pins and needly, which happens sometimes when I'm walking with like my hands down. I don't know if it's just because like circulation, and now I feel a little bit dizzy lying down, which I do sometimes. The flatter I get like lying down, the worse I feel, but I don't know why it made me feel so weird. Hello, it's 10 past 10 and I feel pretty rubbish, to be honest. Headaches coming back from my eyes, which is why I've got my glasses on inside. As soon as I take them off, I start to get like a twingy feeling in this eye, so I've got a headache all the way along the back there, so that's fun. It's not as bad as it could be, because sometimes it gets worse, but it's, you know, not much fun. My knees are absolutely killing me. My ankles actually feel a lot better, so there's that. But my knees are absolutely killing me, and my ribs as well. I used to get rib pain quite a lot, but I've been getting a little bit, but now they hurt just here. So that's fun. I'm going to do my physio, but probably not as intense as normal. But you'll have seen it because it would have been in the other clip. I completely forgot to film today, and it's like 9 o'clock at night. It's not 9 o'clock at night, it's like 11 o'clock at night, but I'm going to try and keep this clip really short because I've just looked at the footage and there's a lot of footage. Basically my knee hurt. That's about it for today. Cool, bye. Okay guys, it is Sunday, so I'm going to sort of sum up and end this video. Today's been pretty chill. I've done pretty much nothing. Legs aching as usual because I spent too much time lying on my bed, not moving enough, which is, I knew was going to happen, so kind of, you know, can't really complain about it that much. Definitely better than Friday. Friday was pretty bad, I think. Not pretty bad, pretty normal, but I don't know. Friday was the worst this week, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah. Energy levels are back up, but I haven't really done anything today, so it's not really a great standard. Sleeping okay. Yeah, didn't go on a walk today, so my legs are aching, but my knees are a little bit better. So yeah, that's all I can really say. I also found out that, let me find my phone, that my app tells me how many hours of my life I've spent doing physio. So I haven't done it yet tonight. I'm about to do it when I finish this. But I started physio in December, because as I said, I haven't been diagnosed for that long, but that's how long I've been doing physio for, and since then I've done 11 hours and 29 minutes of physio. It's only a couple of minutes a night, but that also doesn't include, so that's just the time doing the actual exercise itself. So I would say, like, say if I'd have to do 10 minutes of exercise, it would take me 15 minutes, because there's like the time in between, and, you know, sorting stuff out and finding my tennis ball that I have to do stuff with and things like that. So yeah, longer than that. Imagine what I could have done at that time. I probably just would have gone to bed. I probably would have just had another 11 and a half hours of sleep, which is a good night's sleep. Two bad night sleeps. Anyway, yes, the point of this video was to just raise awareness, I guess. I don't really know what the point is beyond that. I think sort of maybe telling you guys like what the bonus things I have to think about. Today was a pretty good week, to be honest. Pain levels have been pretty low. Fatigue was quite bad at the start of the week, but like pain levels were pretty low. So I think it's probably got to do with the fact that I'm doing less. But again, doing less comes with its own other issues, like getting like aches and like cramps and things like that, and like deconditioned to sort of being out. When I do things, I get tired easier and things like that. So, you know, you win some, you lose some. I don't know, I just kind of want to let you know about like the bonus things that I have to think about on a daily basis. And also maybe I think a lot of people don't take this seriously. Like, people go, oh yeah, I'm double jointed too, or oh yeah, I can do this thing. And like, if that's true, if you genuinely really do relate to things that I've said, then maybe you should get it checked out. But yeah, it is like it's like an actual, like, it's not, I don't like calling it a disability because people have issues with that word and things like that, but like, for the sake of this video, that yeah, it is a disability and it can be disabling at times. And yeah, I just wanted to like talk about this thing because now is the time when everyone is like, go talk about this thing. So that's what I'm doing. If you have any questions about this, then please let me know down in the comments, and I will try my best to answer them, but I'm not an expert on this. I just experience it. I don't know why my body does the thing. I just know what things it does. So yeah, I will leave some resources down in the description if you want to know a little bit more about this. And I'll also leave some YouTubers who have, I don't think I follow any YouTubers who specifically have hypermobile spectrum disorder or hypermobility syndrome, but I do know quite a few YouTubers who have hypermobile type EDS, which is a slightly different thing but also similar in a lot of ways. So I will link them down below if you want to check out the awareness stuff that they're doing. Why is it got all dark all of a sudden? This video is a bit of a mess visually, isn't it? Oh well, it's going to be very long, so we're going to end this here. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions or questions, leave them down in the comments. I'll see you next week. Like, subscribe and all that jazz. That's not the order that I do these things in. Anyway, bye.